This video gives some details about the new release cheat sheet, particularly for Utils / commands. So the basics is how to open it. It's really recommended to do a control or command / because as you see now I'm in a field and when I would only hit / it will give that character to the input field. When I do a command / or control / it's more precise to open the / command window. So next, when a bit of basics, when I do a right arrow and you see that little icon at the start of the label, that means you can do inline search. So inline search means that you don't have to open the full list, but get the list first 20 in line, and the first 10 you can open with the corresponding number on the keyboard. Next up is when you would hit enter, it would open the results in my current tab, so overwrite the current form. When I do control or command enter, it will open it up, the results in a new list. So this corresponds basically is similar to what you can do in the navigator with lowercase .list or uppercase .list. So next up, a few basic shortcuts, very basic. When I hit Control or Command S, it does a save of my current record. Command V will paste any screenshot. Command Shift S will try to do an insert and stay. So that's it. Command 2, that is a configurable shortcut to show do the pop in pop out, and you can configure that in your extension settings. So these are, for this you can configure them into your own likings in the extension settings. So the next are a few mouse click tricks. So form label click. When I do a command or control click, I can build up an encoded query, and when I would open it in a new list, this is the encoded query that I have just selected. So easy to find similar records when you are either investigating your data or trying to develop something and you're looking for some inspiration. The next, similar to this, we can add it by command click on the header, and this will give us a link to the list view of the current record. And then double click on a form whitespace. This is similar to the tn / command, but it will trigger the show technical names command. And then the last for keyboard shortcuts, that is a form label double click. When I double click over here, it gives me the value of a field, and I could change it or copy and paste the value. In particular handy when it's a reference, then you have an easy way to get the sysid. Next up, basic navigation / commands. So these are all really fixed. So when I do, for example, /st and then enter, it will open up Studio. So please review the list that you have here, and you can easily create your own by going to the / commands settings in the browser tab. So clicking here and going to / commands, you can create your own. I'm not going to that in this video, but I have others to get more details on that. Next up is scripted commands. So a few scripted commands, for example, a code search /code and then Fred. Let's see if there are reference to Fred Luddy in the code. And I've got a few results by name, by table, and I can easily explore them. So there are a bunch of them. Let me show a few more. For example, /SA enter. It will show me the last 10 scopes I'm in. And when I would search for a particular one, for example, something with Azure, I can hit Azure and it gives me the scopes that contain the Azure name in it. And again, when I would select one here, then it would switch to the appropriate scope. So I think the rest of them, try them and explore them. I think most of them make sense by the way themselves, and if not, then reach out to me. Example table search /commands. What you can do with /commands as well is when you start typing, for example, sys_ux_, and then if I want to re-trigger the inline search, I can do that trick with the right arrow. I can view them all, and when I click on one, I could open that, or I could even add other criteria to it. Another way is when I do, for example, XML and then asterisks, then it will search all tables containing XML. So the default behavior is starts with, and when I add XML, it will do a search. What I can do as well is, let me again copy that sysid that I had, copy, and then / paste in the sysid, hit enter. In the background it will search that sysid, and when it's found it will open it up in a new tab. So that's also a dynamic /commands, as I call them. Next up is what you can do as well is, for example, when you end your name with .do, it sees that you want to navigate to a direct page, so it would open cache.do if I would hit enter. That is one. Table search I have covered. I have covered most of the dynamic ones. And then switches. So let me try the switches one as well. So when I do, for example, incident, incident, and I can, and now you see a list of options appear, or switches, and I can add them. So when I say M, that stands for updated or created by me. When I add in created today, and I would hit enter, then it gives me the result. What it also does, it opens it in a pinned way, so I can easily modify it. So yeah, there is a lot more when I would open, for example, when I do the same, now I'm in the table, what I can do as well, I can do those switches immediate, and when I do -t, view table structure, I'm now in the incident table, so it takes that incident as the context, and it will open up the table structure. So in the list in the cheat sheet, it is grouped by list filter additions, record navigation. So what I can also do is when I go back to here, when I do /r, option random, now it opens up a random incident. So that is basically it. There's a lot more to tell, but I hope this helps you in kickstart in better utilizing the power of /commands. So if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and thanks, and see you next time.